I'm going to be explaining the tournament competition judging and scoring system so you can understand what's happening as you do your form. Now, let's say we have a ring of 12 people competing. The first thing that we're going to do as a judge is we're going to pick 3 people randomly from the division to come and do their form. We're going to watch them one at a time. These happen to be the 3 people that we picked. Good picks. So Miss Richmond comes up, she does her form, and we're reserving our score. We're watching her. The reason we're bringing 3 is we want to get an idea of what the whole division is going to look like. It's because all our scores are relative. You might score 5, but it doesn't mean anything because it's relative to everybody else. So Miss Richmond does her form, I watch her do her form, and then we have her have a seat. Then Miss Landry comes up, she does her form. We watch it, she has a seat. Then Miss Troutman comes up, she does her form, we watch it, she has a seat. Then we call all 3 of the competitors back up. Now I can see relative the score. So the judges are going to be looking at this saying, okay, let's say Miss Troutman had the best form. She was better than the other 2. Now, Miss Richmond was pretty good, but it wasn't as good as Miss Landry's. Well, Miss Troutman is going to score a 4. Miss Richmond is going to score a 2 because it wasn't as good as Miss Landry, who's going to score a 3. So we gave them 3 different scores, but they're all relative. 2 isn't necessarily a bad score. You can still go ahead and win a medal with that. So then they bow and we dismiss them. Now we bring up each competitor one at a time. Let's say we bring up Johnny up and Johnny does his form. Now the judges are looking at, is Johnny's form better than Miss Troutman's? Was it on par with Miss Landry's or was it on par with Miss Richmond's? Let's say Johnny's form wasn't as good as Miss Richmond, who was the lowest scorer with a 2. Well, then Johnny's going to score somewhere between a 1 and a 1.5 on his score. Let's say Johnny's looked really good and he was better than Miss Troutman. He's going to score somewhere between a 4.5 and a 5. Now, he's dismissed and we bring the next person up and we score them relative to these guys too, so they get placed. Now, in the event that you make a mistake on your form, you're going to receive deductions. The first time you make a mistake in your form and you basically bungle it or you don't finish the form, you get a chance to come back up one more time and you don't lose any, you only lose a half point off your total score. So once we add up your numbers from all 3 of the judges, because you're going to get 3 scores from judges and they may be different, we take a half point off and then you do your form again. If you make mistakes the second time through, we count deductions, how many mistakes you made. If you made 5, you're going to receive a -5 from each judge off your score. If you made 3 mistakes, you're going to get a -3. That subtracts from your total score. So at the end of the competition, we add up all the scores for forms. Assuming we have the highest score, that's a first place. A second place is going to be the second highest score, and a third place is going to be the third highest score. Now that's assuming we don't have any ties. If there's a tie, maybe there's a tie for first place and second place. They both scored the same. They come out and they do their form again. That's called a runoff or a tiebreaker. You only get 1 shot at doing your form and we score you right there. It starts over like a separate competition. Miss Richmond would get a score and Miss Landry would get a score. Whoever got the highest is going to be the first and then she earns the second place medal. So don't focus so much on the judging rules and the details as get out there, perform your form the best that you can, try not to make any mistakes, and if you make any mistakes, just remember you're not hugely penalized. It's just a half point off if you make a mistake the first time. You get a free shot to come out and do your form again, and it's all scored like starting over. So good luck at the competition.